Day 700. 700. Day rating is an 8. Feels good today. Got to sleep in a little bit. I just adjusted my alarm. Tried to get up for about 2 weeks at 6:15. I just kept hitting snooze. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to hit snooze. I'm just going to set my alarm. That way I can just fully sleep. It sounds great, right? It sounds great. Just implementing that was a little bit different because my body naturally got up at 6:15, and I just turned over. I was like, no, I'll just go back to bed. And so, in theory, it was a good idea. It just didn't turn out the greatest. But we'll see. In time, it'll change, and I can get up just at 6:30. Take 15 minutes to do some stretches or meditate. Just focus in on what I need to do today. Get ready, take the pup for a walk, and just keep going from there. Just got to get back on the right schedule. Get enough sleep, get enough rest, get enough energy in, get enough time with the pup. My boobies. And the work was kind of nice. We got to work, and manager had said, hey, I brought in some cinnamon rolls. So we went and got one. I only got one. If I would have known we could have gotten more, I would have gotten more. But as I was leaving, I was getting some water, and the manager had said, hey, there's more left, so if you want one. I said, oh, I wish I could, but I have to go run in about an hour and a half. So if I eat one, it's not going to sit well, and it's probably going to come up at some point during the run. It's like, oh, yeah. So it's like, well, they're there for you tomorrow morning. I'm like, done. I'll be here tomorrow morning. I got dibs. And then went back to the trail, did 2 loops, added, it's like 4.25 miles. Just a little bit nice and relaxed today. Trying to recover this week. Did some drills and strides afterwards, just to keep things fleshed out, keep things sharp for after the race, trying to move forward. Don't want to let go of any of that. Then came back. I had put some chicken in the crock pot. I didn't know if I was going to do... Originally, I wanted to do some kind of chicken salad, but I didn't buy any salad stuff yesterday. So, just had some tortillas that Jennifer brought over. So, we just had tacos and watched Countdown? Countdown. Not the Countdown, but just Countdown. Another scary type movie where there's an app and it's supposed to count down to the time you're supposed to die. Something weird like that. So we watched that, had some tacos, played with the pup. That new toy that I got yesterday, she tore into it. She just kept gnawing at it on one of the ends and gnawing at it and chewing on it and flipping it around, chewing the other side. Eventually she tore a hole in it. I honestly thought it would last her a month or so, but right away she just sat down and kept chewing. I think if I would have been able to play with her a little bit more with it, she would have gotten the idea like, oh, this is a much better toy if I get to chase it and kind of chew on it and not tear it up. But my fault, we were in the middle of the movie and I was just focused on the movie, and I was like, she's playing with her toy, she's fine. And we look over after the end of the movie and there's just the stuffing starts to come out. So it almost lasted. But then took a shower, rinsed off a lot of the kitchen stuff. I meant to do dishes, but I just feel tired right now. Not completely exhausted, but just like I've had a long day, and I'm just gonna lay down, call it a night. I meant to do more fitness stuff. I got in 20 jump squats, 20 push-ups, 20 chin-ups. I thought I was gonna do another set, and I'm beat. I'm ready to just kick the feet up and relax. So that's what I'm gonna do. And still prepping for the race. Was just looking up the race, and they're doing an interesting take on the marathon. Whereas before they had the marathon and half marathon at a different starting point. This year we start the same and we go till about 6.5 miles, I believe it is. 5.5, 6.5 miles, somewhere in there. And the marathoners go north, half marathoners go south. And so I'm sure some people might think of it as an issue because, especially if they haven't ran it. But I think because I've ran this race before, my brain's telling me this is the course, this is the way to go. So I'm hoping I should be fine there. Hopefully just don't bump into anyone. I think I'm just slightly scared because I did the triathlon once. And this guy, I was on my second loop and he was just coming out on the bike. So on the bike loop, there's that transition to kind of get people on the road. And I was as far right as I could, and this guy, total tunnel vision, just came right at me. And I was braking and pretty much went like a back wheelie, and I was not trying to. If I was, that was the only time I've ever been able to. So it was a one and done. I did that, kind of shook me up, and so I was like, hey, watch out. I don't remember what I said, but I was in race mode. No one got hurt, so I wasn't trying to yell too much, but just tried to say like, hey, beware of other people. And so that's the only thing that scares me. But again, on a bike, you're going faster. Running, you're probably more than likely going to be running with the same group at that point. I don't think anyone's going to come speeding up out of nowhere. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Sorry, Gamora, that's me. That was me, puppy. So it shouldn't be any issues. And then there's the Fitness Expo. I believe it said Friday from noon to 7 and Saturday 9 to 5. So me and I'm sure a bunch of the other running group, we're going to plan to go over there on Saturday, pick up our bib. They're supposed to have a bunch of running gear or fitness gear, anything from clothes to shoes to headbands, hats. I remember one year I saw, it was kind of like a sweatband beanie type. I think they had different versions of it. And it just had these little water droplets show how much you could potentially sweat and how much it soaked in so it wouldn't run down your face. And there's another one with, I think this is when Bluetooth first came out with earphones. Not Bluetooth, the company, but when it was Bluetooth was first new and earphones was first getting popular again. So I'm hoping I can go and find a pair of earphones or headphones. I'm looking for a pair for work because my battery's just dying after 3 hours. So that extra hour, it's either noisy or I'm just trying to focus in on it. On whatever task I'm doing, report or a phone call. So I'm going to look for something that I can use for work, potentially for lifting, fitness. And if I'm lucky, they might have one there that's also waterproof. So when I start swimming again, I can take it swimming, which would be really cool. Really, really cool. And then there's like a cool bonus today. As I was looking at my bank account and I have a cash rewards, and I have not cashed it. I almost forgot about it. And I was like, okay, there's got to be a way to show what kind of rebate I've got or if it does it at the end of the month. But I could have sworn I set it up so that I can select when I want to cash in on it. And so I looked at it and it was like $261. And so it's almost like a small bonus check. So I'm hoping after the race this weekend, I'll feel good and happy with my efforts and I won't be shivering from the rain that could potentially happen that day. I think it's up to 70% chance of rain now. But I'm hoping I can go get a little bite to eat and just relax. Maybe go to Topgolf or something, get a nice dinner. Or I definitely going to go get some frozen yogurt. excuse me, but potentially find some headphones too. Maybe even use some of it to get that computer fixed that only worked for about 3 or 4 months. But that was a pleasant surprise. So those little things feel good. And everything else is feeling good. And I'm getting ready for the race. And I'm really getting ready to go to sleep. So run your life with health and happiness and have a good night.